fun project for you. Welcome to my craft room. I thought I'd get into doing a little bit of fun with our fragrance flowers. Have you ever tried coloring one of these? Now these come in two different styles. They come in something called a buttercup bell, which I have here, and they come in a dahlia form. So this is what the buttercup looks like, and they are beautiful if you don't color them at all. But I'm here to show you how to do a little bit of magic. Ooh, be careful with it. These are handcrafted. They're hand-tied little flowers. Now we're going to start with Sharpies. I have a box of all different kinds of colors because I just love to play with colors, and again, welcome to my craft table here. I thought it might be fun to do a little experimenting with this and work with both a gray and a magenta on part of it and a brown and yellow on the other part of it, and let's see what it looks like. Now, having to be very careful with these because these leaves are fragile, so I have to have a soft touch with it, but it's not impossible, but probably not something that you want a young child to do if you wanted to make it something that the kids could kind of get in on. When you're finished with these, in other words, when all the oil is gone out of your jar, they're great to be able to tie into a wreath or something like that, so you can still get some use out of them. So there's so many things that you can do to these. So let's get to coloring. I'm gonna start with the gray. I just feel like starting with gray. On the buttercup bell, I found that I need to put a little bit more ink on the tip of the petal because the petals are so large. And so again, all we're doing is just dabbing on a little bit of felt pen to the outer part of the petal. What happens is when this wicks up the oils, it causes this to kind of blur and fill the petal, and it's really quite beautiful. And there's just an endless amount of things that you can do in terms of color with these flowers. So I'm just adding just scribble it on there. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. I just want to make sure that I kind of have a generous amount of Sharpie pen on the outer petal to the flower. Now for the magenta, I thought it might be fun because this is all just an experiment every single time I do these things. I thought it might be fun to put that towards the base of the flower, way down deep on the base of the flower, just to kind of see what happens when the two colors meet. So we'll try this out together and see what happens with this one. I've never done this before, where I put two colors on a petal. But I was kind of curious what would happen if I did. Hopefully it won't just turn it all black and really ugly, but we're gonna try. We're gonna see how the two colors will meet. So on this one, I'm gonna put magenta very close to the inner core and see what happens when the gray meets the magenta. Now just to experiment, let's do brown on the other side. So I'm gonna put some brown on the other side of the petal, or other side of the flower. And when we're done with this, you guys can tell me which side you like better, whether it's the brown side or the gray side. I just thought it would be fun to try out colors. I've tried doing polka dots on these things, which is interesting. I've tried doing all different things just to see what would happen. The oil that I have for this is very snowy spruce. So this is going to make my house smell super kind of Christmassy amazing, which is a little bit early, I understand, but it still smells seasonal and pretty in here. So, all right, so I've got the brown on this side. And then we'll take the yellow and let's see what happens if we put that down deep in the core of the petals. So again, I'm just gonna, I know you guys probably can't see what I'm doing too much, but I will show you. And again, the leaves are very fragile, so we just want to have kind of a light touch while we move these around, because they will rip a little bit if we're too aggressive with them. It doesn't harm anything if they do, it just doesn't, you know, make it as nice as what it was. So we're gonna put some yellow down deep in there. I'm curious what will happen when we have the yellow meet the brown. So we'll find out. So here's what our flower looks like now that I've got the magenta and the gray in there, and you can see the yellow tucked in on the brown side. So we're gonna set this up. So it's real easy. Just take the cap off, and we have to take the little plunger out. And I've put a little bit of, if you're super crafty and you want to put a little vinyl or bling it up or put some rhinestones on the outside of this glass, I've done that too. So you put once you get the little plunger out, you put the little silver cap on, and then simply just sink the wick of your flower into the jar. And it'll take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours for this to bloom with all the colors, and your house will smell amazing.